The Eucharist is not a new and independent sacrifice that replaces or somehow completes the sacrifice of the cross. So basically, the cross, when Jesus was crucified on the cross, that's it. But because Jesus actually said to us, do this in memory of me, we actually reenact, represent, commemorate the sacrifice of the cross. It is not new, it is not on its own, it is something that we do because Jesus said, do this in memory of me. It is a memorial. It is the act of rendering sacramentally present the sacrifice of the cross which has taken place once for all. It only happened once. That's the reason why we don't offer goats and and killing them in front of the altar. We don't do that anymore. Because they used to do that before Jesus actually passed away and before Jesus actually was crucified. The Eucharist is a sacrifice of praise and thanksgiving for the work of creation. It is also a sacrifice of thanksgiving to the Father, a blessing by which the Church expresses her gratitude to God for all His benefits. In this sacrifice of praise, the Church sings the glory of God in the name of all creation. You know, when I was looking at you earlier, I almost said something. I feel so at home because you're all Catholic. You don't want to actually sit at the front. I always tell people at the church, I wish we could just build everything at the back. And I'll be alone in the front. Because I don't know what's in the back of the church. And I don't know what you see there. But in any case, hopefully somebody will sit at the front here. I'm almost done with our first segment. So the Eucharist is a sacrifice of praise and thanksgiving for the works of creation. It is also a sacrifice of thanksgiving to God, to the Father, a blessing by which the Church expresses her gratitude to God for all His benefits. In His sacrifice of praise, the Church sings the glory of God in the name of all creation. The Eucharist is a sacrifice because the three precepts are re-present, made present. The sacrifice of the cross because it is its memorial and because it applies its fruit. The sacrifice of the cross and the sacrifice of the Eucharist are one single sacrifice. It is not something new. It is not something that we're doing again. The victim and the offerer are the same. Only the manner of offering is different. The Eucharist is considered the source and summit of Christian life because it joins the Church to the heavenly liturgy and the final eternal sacrifice of Christ. Did you know that when we are singing, Holy, Holy, Holy Lord God of hosts, heaven and earth are full of your glory, Hosanna in the highest. When we're singing those words, the heaven and earth are joined. The saints and angels of heaven come down upon us and celebrate with us. And that's the reason why you shouldn't be asking me, when is the last time we should be in the church before we can say we are already late. you are already late once you hear that they're singing the opening hymn. So, I'm not being strict, I'm just saying you the truth. So, now, I guess I will be going to the next person. I'm giving it back to Father Ray, I guess.
All right, I would like Father Clark for Vino for sharing.
Good morning. I'm blessed because thank you. I'm Balak Gardino, and I'm under the household of Brother Nestor and Sister B. And my wife is at the back, Ellen. And then my eldest daughter, take care of me. And I feel it, so they not really. I was at the back and Sister Claire approached me and said, we are already late in our program, so we have about 5 minutes sharing, although I prepared 30 minutes. So I hope I just give you an introduction and go to the conclusion. So I can have that 5 minutes. Well, I grew up in Iloilo's province of Iloilo, Panay, that is in Panay Island of the Philippines, in a barrio. So, during elementary years, we have to walk 15 kilometers to go to the school. And then if you go to the mass, you have to walk 10 kilometers. And that's the reason why I did not grow tall, because since elementary I started walking already. So, my brothers and sisters, we are 6 in the family. I am the youngest. But my brothers and sisters are taller. They're tall. But I am the most handsome among them. When I was in elementary, I served in the church as an altar server. So, Mass is not really that alien to me. But I don't know when I had the confession. I did not remember. I think every Holy Week. I think that's the practice in the barrio. In the box, right? But one time, we have a seminary in Iloilo City, that's St. Joseph Seminary. They went to our church for a occasion campaign, and they were very pastors also Tana, and they love to sing and dance. They are really good people, talented people. And I was amazed, and when I went home, I told my mother that I want to enter the seminary. I like these people. I want to be one with them. And after that, my mother talked to our parish priest. And when I started high school, the parish priest brought me to Bacolod City, where the CICN, a religious community, that is Conicato Immaculares Goddess Marie, the CICN, a religious community. So I started my high school days, philosophy, novitiate, and theology. They're all structured in a was in seminary. So we have a time for prayer, we have a time for eating, and we have also a time for meditation and all those in the Mass. But during those years, I did not really have that personal relationship, or a good understanding, although we have academically, we are bombarded with what should be the understanding of the Mass, or the moral theology, or the Old Testament, and all those things. But I'm quite far from there. And then in the seminary, because we are a religious community, we on missions, we were given time to go to parishes, to experience parish life. So, when I was in the parishes, I was able to observe our priests. I was disillusioned. Because I had that idealism in me. Because at the time, the reason why I entered the seminary is a shortcut to heaven. I thought it would be I would go to heaven if I die as a priest. I was disillusioned because these are still human beings. The priests are still human beings. But still that idealism was in me. And I went out. Then I joined SGB, the Sisters Company, in the HR department. Now, when I was in the HR department, I handled the grievances of those who resigned from the company. And lo and behold, I need to have the information regarding the accountabilities of those people who are resigning. And lo and behold, I had to get that information from the accounting department. And the one in charge of that, Salas, so he's the one in charge of accountabilities. So we talked, and then after some time, I said that, oh, he's quite intelligent. I think it's good to know her more. So if you are the HR department, you have the files of 2-1 files of all employees of the company. So you can, you can go there and then see where really siblings or what was their background, all those things. Then I saw that his general allowance for CPA is 82%. Wow, she's quite intelligent. Then one day, I told her that. And then I told her, I asked her, Ellen, can I court you? And then she answered, you. Because in Tagalog, I translated that literally. In Tagalog, Ellen, pwede ba kitang ligawan? Sabi niya, ikaw. So that's the reason why we married each other because of that relationship. And then during when he was pregnant with our youngest Tom, as a boy, I think that her blood pressure went up to 190, 200 during the time. So, the work in this TV, there is no night time. There's always daytime. There's a lot of work in this TV. I think Brother Martin Susantela, I think, can attest to that. That's how I have to wait for Ellen until 12 o'clock in the morning and 1 o'clock in the morning to bring her home. So because of that, Ellen got stroke. She had a stroke and her body was paralyzed. It was a big we call it, that incident really we feel that it's quite helpless for all of us. But this other fact that happened to us, I always go to the church. You know, in Greenbelt, in Makati, there is a chapel over there. So I have to attend the Mass. I have to offer the prayers, the healing of Ellen, and then the support and the strength for us, for all of us in our family. Not only that, it was, I see that it's quite a problem because after some time, Ellen had a depression because she feels that she's no longer wanted, is helpless. But in spite of the fact that we experience such devastation in our lives, we always offer our, to the Lord, especially during the Mass, because I think it's really very acceptable to the Lord if you offer that during the raising up of the host and the wine. So Ellen was healed. And then another thing happened in our lives. During the time that was 2005, when Canadian Embassy sent us the notice that we are accepted to migrate to Canada. And then 2006, we prepared everything. But at the time, our household pastor had the youth in our community. So there was a time that we had the baptism of the Spirit for the youth. And we held it outside, not in the chapel. So there were 2 youth that were possessed at the time we had our baptism. And I was alone, praying over those 2 youth. I could not see our household heads. I was alone. But we were able to pacify those 2 youth. And then I developed a fear within myself. I developed anxiety that everything I will do is always about results. And Ellen observed that when I was driving the car. I was afraid that I must bump something or I must met an accident. So I had to see the psychiatrist. And the psychiatrist gave me the sleeping pills so that I can sleep. Because I cannot sleep. It's always there. My mind is always working. So, but one time, we were in Better Living. I attended the Mass in Very Helping Christians. During the Mass, I talked to the Lord. Lord, I don't want this kind of life. The fear is always choking me. You know, the fear is, in Latin words, like choking you. You cannot breathe. So I don't want this kind of life. So I asked your strength. So after the Mass, I went to where you can have your reflection. Adoration chapel. So I went there and then I talked to the Lord about my situation. And also at the time, because I was afraid, what will happen to us? Can I get a good job in Canada? That was also the anxiety that I have experienced. So, then after that, I went to the Mass, I think 3-4 times for that week. And there was a time that I found peace in the Lord. I started not taking the medicine, the sleeping pills. And there was a time that I trusted the Lord. So I try to recall all the things that happened in my life. During my studies in seminary, I would say that I believe because I understand. But after that seminary life, I came to know that I understand because I believe how the Lord has really opened my eyes and myself to His goodness, to His support on me, that giving me strength for all those trials that happened in our life. So, I think the importance of the Mass in our life is really, you cannot describe something like, because before, when you go to the Mass, you don't prepare yourselves, right? Just like, just attend, take a communion. But no, you are meeting the Lord. You are joining the community of where the Lord has really come down from heaven to meet us as human beings. So I think from now on, I think we can give more importance to the Mass as we go or celebrate in our community. Time is up, Father Nicole.
I'm back. So, we have seen all the activities we have heard. We have lots of questions to be answered, probably with some brothers and sisters we have. And so, let's continue to reflect on those questions. And also, we heard from the sharing from Brother Block, how he has gone from the seminary, and how everything that happened in his life and in the life of their family actually trying to go around what the Eucharist, what Thanksgiving, what the sacrifices is all about, and how we are all called to go back to those celebrations, to those things that actually help us who we are as Catholics and as Christians. Just a little bit more disclaimer before we go is this conference or program is intended for Catholics. So that's the reason why it's open for everyone, not just MFC members, but they have to be Catholic or else they will not understand what we're talking about. So anyway, I would like to introduce you to them.